this is Shamaro from Milton Keynes College. I am one of the course team leaders here, and today I'm going to show you how to make a Victoria sponge sandwich. So to start with, I'm going to prepare my tins. I'm going to take my piece of greaseproof paper and fold it in half. And the edge where you have folded, you're going to place your finger on it to hold your position and just fold over to make a 90-degree angle. You're then going to fold it 2 more times to get yourself a nice fan shape. I'm then going to take my tin and turn it over and place my cartouche firmly in place and make a little mark of where it is. Cutting round, I should get a perfect round to fit into the base of my tin. Now this can be used to place on top of sauces, soups, or anything which could create a skin going forward. So once you've done that, I'm going to take some melted butter and just brush the edges of my tin and going all the way around. I'm then going to take a little bit of flour into my tin and going around, I'm just going to knock the flour into that butter to make a layer, and I'll put that into the other tin. When you've done, just give it a quick tap to release any unneeded flour from that. It's going all the way around again. Quick tap. And place my cartouches into the base. Then I'm going to start to prepare my batter. So I'm going to start with placing my butter into a mixing bowl with my sugar. And I'm going to beat these for about 3 minutes until they start to become white in colour, meaning air has incorporated into the butter. I'm going to start off on slow, just to allow it to incorporate, and then I will speed up as we go. Halfway through, you might want to stop and using a Maurice, just give it a quick scrape down just to make sure that all the ingredients are incorporated evenly. You might feel that you might need to do that a few times, but just making sure that that sugar and butter are well incorporated. I'm then going to take my eggs and I'm just going to give them a little beat together to help them incorporate more evenly. And slowly add that in, allowing the previous part of the egg to incorporate before you add the next. If you add it too quickly, you can end up splitting your mixture. I've added about 2/3 of my eggs now, so I'm just going to give it another scrape down. Okay, so I'm now going to add to this my self-raising flour and slowly incorporate that, ensuring the machine has been turned down to slow as not to throw flour everywhere. Starting off slow, you can then gently speed it up and bring it together. And you're looking for a smooth, light batter with no streaks of egg or lumps of flour visible, and it's quite a quick transition. Give everything a scrape down. And then I'm going to go in and give it a quick scrape down again. Now, once I've used the machine, I always like to go in with the Maurice, just making sure that there is no butter or hidden ingredients on that base to ensure we have one smooth, consistent batter. And there we go. So now I'm going to deposit my cake mixture between my two tins. So I've placed a small side plate on top of my scales just to lift my tin up so I can see and get the even weight distribution. And I am just going to put that mixture in. And I always weigh my mixture into my cake tins to ensure they are evenly sized, because then that way they will definitely cook evenly. Once I've put my mixture into my tin, I'm just going to go around just very gently, encouraging it into those corners. And going round. And I always try to leave a small well within my cake. As a cake cooks, you will have a slight doming of it, but if you put a slight indentation at the beginning, you will get a much more even, flat rise, which will work in your favour when you come to stack the cake later. And there's my two tins ready to go into the oven. They're going to go in at 160 for 25 minutes until they're evenly risen and golden in colour. So I've just removed these from the oven. They had just over 25 minutes. They are soft and springy to the touch, and if I take a skewer and place it in, it comes out clean. So with Victoria sponge sandwich, what I would like to do is to remove them straight from the tin. And I'm literally just running my knife around, releasing it. I'm not cutting the cake at all. I am literally just encouraging it to release from that tin. So this is going to be my bottom tier. And I'm going to turn that over straight away so it gets nice and flat on the bottom. The other one I shall just leave in the tin and allow it to cool before turning out. So now my Victoria sponge sandwiches have cooled. I made sure I turned one upside down during the cooling process as to give it a flat bottom. And I'm making sure that I remove those cartouches of greaseproof paper that we put there to stop it from sticking. I've taken some double cream, icing sugar and vanilla, and I'm just going to finish whipping them up to a nice firm peak, as we're going to finish with fresh cream and strawberry jam. So I'm going to build on my rack. Now I've got some jam here which I have pre-beaten just to get rid of any really big lumps, as this can tend to hinder you when you come to spread it and damage your sponge. So a little bit of beating beforehand can prevent this. And I always like to spread the jam just with a palette knife. I take it up to the edge and then I pull back just to make sure it doesn't dribble out when you start sandwiching it all together. Because if it's all by the edge, it will dribble out by the edge. And done. So I'm now going to take my chantilly cream into a pre-set up bag, and I have a nozzle which is about 1.5 centimeters ready to go. And I especially like today where it's really warm, I'm not going to overfill my bag. The additional heat of my hands can cause this to split, creating an ugly mess. Get rid of the air bubbles. And I'm going to go to my cake. So I'm going to go around the outside first, pulling in. And I've allowed a small gap away from the edge of the cake, so when I place this on top, there is room for the cream to be pressed outwards. If you put it directly on the edge, you will end up, once again, as I said earlier, with a squidged out mess. And we're looking for something clean, tidy, and elegant. And then onto the top, and I'm just going to press down gently, and as we've allowed that bit of room, it's going to spread outwards. I'm going to take my icing sugar and a nice little dusting of icing sugar over the top. Now you do this on the cooling rack, not your plate, as it will make the plate messy. And just simply transfer it to your presentation plate.